let's see what we can pull. Yeah, not superstitious, but maybe if I started on the right side last time, though the box may have had silver. Not superstitious, but it's a working theory, we'll say. And yes, I took half a box out. I need room just in case. This one could have silver, could not. Let's find out. Oh, I didn't turn my light on. That's better. I thought it was a little dark in here. Got one of the old college lamps. Puts out enough light. Figured the coins were more important than the lamp. Oop. What year? 24? It's hard to believe we're already in 26. Alright, so there's 50 rolls. We got 25 out. That's what we're going to do today. We are on the hunt for silver. Picked 2 boxes up at the same time. This is the second one. We did not find silver in the first one, so maybe we find 2 in here and make up for it. We'll see. I don't make the rules. I just go through the boxes. If I made the rules, I'd get a box like the one we had in the last year where it's all silver. That's an NIFC 03. 23, 21. So we're looking for silver. Of course, when we go through the clad, we're looking to make sure it's the eagle or the Independence Hall on the reverse. We're also just peeping the year and the mint mark. If it's 1980 or newer, it will have a mint mark always. If it's older, then no mint mark is Philadelphia mintage, so not uncommon, but those are like the quick checks we are doing when we're going through when we don't see silver. And then of course, quick look at the year. Like mint mark is always right above the O and or these 2 numbers. So as long as we see one, we can keep moving. We check the year. To see if it's an IFC we want to keep. We don't want to keep 23s and 24s. We see enough of them. We have plenty in the tank. Any silver we are keeping. Any other NIFC we are keeping, but we're not going to keep 23s, 24s, 21s. And then we're also looking for any other oddities. So if it's not this eagle and it's something different, or if the dual date isn't Independence Hall, you know, we're flagging it, putting it aside, and we're going to check to make sure it's not a trick magic coin. Already found one double head. So we're just going to do those kind of things. And quick checks. And then 1987 is also an NIFC. So that's another key date to look out for. I don't come across them often, but I have. I think I've only come across like 3 since I start paying attention to NIFCs. I didn't always. So it's just one of those things you learn as you go. And of course, learn it as I go. Yeah, I am learning. Yeah, decent condition. But that, if I get time, I can go through a lot of change. This is my main hobby, but I am restarting up a D&D group. Planning on playing. We're starting out once a month. Most of us have kids now, so young kids, so it's going to be harder. But I figure once a month we should be able to get away and be okay. You see, that looks tinted like a proof. Yep, but it doesn't have that estimate mark, so I'm not going to mark it, but I do want to take a closer look. So look at that under the microscope. I have a little pile to my left. I put them when I'm done, so I won't immediately turn it in until I decide to look at it under the microscope. I got to plug that in currently. Used to use it more, but right now I am purely hunting for the bigger stuff, bigger silver. So I'm trying to get as many rolls in. I love how somebody marked that. That was a cool coin. As I can on the hunt for silver. We'll see how many I pull. Right now, this will be our 12th box, and we got 6. So about 1 every 2 so far. And that can all change in a box or 2, right? We have multiple. Towards the end of last year, we had a box that killed it. So, I mean, I think in 2024, I'll take a closer look. I'll go with that. Make sure if it's something that happens after circulation. I do not care if it's something that happens during the minting process. It's usually fetches a little premium, so then I do care. So but I always go through some 40%ers like to hide. I just want to make sure I'm not leaving anything. I'm very bad at picking out proofs by looking down the side. So I always go through all of them So yes, you will see me go through a lot of clad in the hunts. I want to make sure I leave nothing on the table. Got that as a comment one time, that's just looking through a lot of clad. Well, that's what hunting is, right? No matter the kind of hunting, deer hunting, anything, you're gonna spend a lot more time in the process than succeeding. But that's why they chose hunting and not, I don't know, what's something you always win in. Bowling with the bumpers up. You're always going to hit a pin. This is not that. At this point, I would equate this to saying hunting with, you know, the deer are around because you found them in the past, you saw them on the camera. It's just, will they show up this round? That's what I would say. Because our track record, even this year, we have silver mark. We know we can still find it. It's just, will it show up in the box? And we won't know. Unless the door comes out and tells us which roll that we're actually looking for. We just gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Open them all up. And I don't mind. Yeah, some of the like real dark 40%ers have hit on me. And looking back, maybe could have told, or it could have been something like that, right? It's hard to tell. Sometimes when I pick them out, I'm more hopeful, but you never know. At least I can say I am out doing it. Wanted to do it for years before I started. Couldn't figure out or didn't put the time and effort into doing it. Now I am. No regrets. Of course, I just do this for entertainment. I do recording. Don't have to. Might change my speed up a little bit, but I think I go through it pretty quickly. I would at least have music to listen to. But that's alright, I can talk. Sometimes I do get lost in thought while going through, looking, thinking, but beside the point. Back to the D&D campaign. I will be running it. I'm thinking doing a little bit of homebrew, a little bit of the Yawning Portal, Tales of the Yawning Portal. Haven't played that. Should be fun. Adding one guy from the group couldn't make it. He moved. well, 2 guys moved. So, but we got one more friend I had from college stepping in. He hasn't played before, so it'll be a fun experience. The rest of us have, so it'll be back to the old banters. Should be a good time. Like I said, low bar once a month. Feel like we should be able to keep it going for a while. Alright, if I pull 25 out, I got 6 left, so this is 19. Our wife just sent me our house on Zillow. Talking about the changes that have been made even before we moved in. When we bought the house, it was a private deal, so it never went to market. So no photos were ever updated. You know, with what the property looks like or anything like that. The real estate agent was a family friend, so when they picked them, went smoothly. We had my brother-in-law to ask questions to if we need it. Of course, we could reach out to the other guy. Wasn't really too hard of a process. The hardest part of the process was just getting information where it needed to go. I remember I had one call where the bank called me saying they're waiting on me to sign paperwork because the interest rates were about to change. And I said, I'd love to send the paperwork back to you, but I don't have it. I've been waiting on it. That's when he realized he'd never sent it to me. Because if he had, it would have been back in his queue. I told him that. I was like, if I would have got it, it would have been already back in your thing. So go ahead, send it over, so I can sign, because it was a low interest rate. They were only going to go up. So happy we did what we did. It's now furnished, but can't believe that was, we've been here going on 4 years. That's wild. You ever think back about purchase you made that you still have? It's like maybe not as big of a house purchase, but something small that, like, damn, it's hard to get rid of some of that stuff. I've had you since I was in my 20s. I was in my teens. I got video games I had when I was a kid. Of course, there's a whole market for all that now, but I don't know that I'll be able to get rid of it. I think the market is just, my generation reliving their old games. But of course, they're remastering a lot of it. I think video game developers it's either too much work to put in the effort for a new video game, or they don't have the ideas. that the older generation did. Because the amount of new games coming out is disgusting compared to the remakes. Like Diablo 2 just remastered, because they updated the graphics, came out with a new class after years of nothing. Right? They did the remaster, made a bunch of money. I don't know if a lot of people are still actually playing it. I played it for a little bit, but I don't know if they have that much of a crowd still. They've introduced a new class, so I'm sure a lot of people are logging back on to check it out. But I mean, they have Diablo 4 out. They had one for cell phones, Immortal, I think. But instead of putting all that time and energy, why not just make a good Diablo 5? And then stop living behind the pay bands, right? Send out a complete game. Shoot, PlayStation 2, there was no updates. They had to push a full game. They had ways to unlock various weapons and skins within the game by playing and mastering certain things. It was the golden age. Now you can just buy it. I mean, that may just be the way it is, but I think the way it was better. Alright, no silver today. Still got half the box. So we'll check it out a different time. I'll catch you guys then.